too small, I got big dreams.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Pun Fun, where we have fun with the puns. My name is Ryan and we're going to check out episode 7 of the Marvel series What If. If you have not yet seen episode 7 of the Marvel series hit What If, please be sure to do so, as there are major spoiler alerts ahead. So let's get into it. First of all, we're going to talk about Thor, well, Party Thor in this case, and like what are the consequences that, came along if he was an only child. So, there's definitely some mischief. He blowing up a planet just to have a party, and if that doesn't say party hard, I don't know what would. We're gonna get into details why there are some characters that we saw throughout the episode. I know Thor actually, meets these people throughout the MCU. So rather it be, Thor meeting the Guardians of the Galaxy, which ultimately is kind of like the Asgardians of the Galaxy, which, is the movie I think we're getting into or going towards besides Love and Thunder. I think we might get hints of that. There's also characters that we've seen throughout Thor 1, Thor 2, and, Ragnarok as well for sure. But there's actually characters that are very particular and to a storyline, another What If storyline, where actually the Avengers fight the Guardians of the Galaxy because of the character that we see at the end of this episode, which was UltraVision. So no, it's not some crazy power that Superman has. This is, Vision, straight up swole and upgraded to maybe the maximum. He has also the Infinity Stones. UltraVision in the story didn't necessarily have the Infinity Stones, but we will talk about how Ultron did once, go after the Infinity Stones. Why did he go after the Infinity Stones? What is UltraVision's, actual vision is about? We're also going to talk about all those comic book source material that ties them all together, because if you're new to the channel, and I hope, hit that subscribe button, if you haven't already, of course, and if you enjoyed the episode, be sure to hit that like button, because that's how you show your support. Anyways, we take the comic book source material and we actually do, a little bit of digging to bring out some of the better aspects and, some of the cool things that you wouldn't probably notice, not because they're Easter eggs, but because, they do actually use the source material, which are the comic books, and they slap it in, and it also helps us, give a little bit of them speculations and predictions for what's to come. That being said, we do get to see Loki and his giant frost, state, and actually a giant, which I thought was definitely cool. I didn't expect him to be that big, especially, we've always seen these characters be at the same kind of height and so on, except for, not Luffy, but yeah. They were about the same stature as Odin. But anyways, what's really cool is that Loki and Thor actually has this really cool bromance. So instead of being rivals, they're actually, two princes that actually get who understands each other, really, which I think is a really cool dynamic, and it really pushes the boundary. Like, hey, the fact that they're both fighting for the throne, or at least Loki's fighting for the throne, if that was out of the equation, what would happen? And I guess this is it, and this is really cool to see this dynamic. Loki, of course, is still into his little mischief, calling Jane and tempting her of this and that and blah blah blah. So in this episode, talking about Jane, we see a plethora of characters. We see her, we see Darcy, who gets married to Howard the Duck. I'm not sure how that works and all those, going furthermore. But, it happened, and I'm all about it. At first I thought, oh, hey, Darcy Duck. Does that maybe a hint to a already established Disney character, maybe in Darkwing Duck? But no, there's no Darcy Duck that I can think of, and when I tried Googling it, didn't find Darcy Duck, or the Duck, if you will. So, cheers to them, and here's to many, many kids, or hatchlings, or ducks. What's really cool, though, if you put a flower on the head, they get like a crazy amount of views on TikTok. So, hey, if you get that rolling, you're in business. Besides all that, we get to also see a lot of the Guardians of the Galaxy. So the Guardians of the Galaxy, as we mentioned, you see the Drax, you see Nebula. We also see Aisha with her, golden skin and all that. I don't know if that's being racist, talking about her skin color, but, we'll go around that subject. But yeah. It's definitely cool to see all these characters he's met, the Grandmaster, actually being the Grand DJ, which I thought was definitely cool. And I mean, I know you've seen the episode, but what's important about this episode is that there's actually a what if book where the Avengers go against the Guardians of the Galaxy. And I know you're like, well, wait, that's not what happened in this story. What's important is that there's actual hints of UltraVision in that book. So that could be, you know, a nod, or it could be why we see them. It could also not be that at all, and it's just because these are people that Thor had encountered throughout the MCU. So why not? He's encountered them through other means, I guess through parties, and that's why they're there. That's why they're there. So yeah. All that being said, we get into UltraVision. So I know at the end of the episode we see, you know, Vision all swole again with, you know, all his ice on him, you know, the gems, the stones. And what's really cool, what's very cool, I mean, we've seen the ulterior designs, you know, ahead of him, and he is the, you know, the last update. So being the vision that Ultron had instead of the vision that Thor had, this is what it led to. And there's actually two visions that came out of this. So UltraVision in the comics ultimately, you know, convinces the UN and the Avengers, like, hey, I want to be not in just a part of the security for all things, you know, cybernetic and everything. I want to actually control all that, and he actually does. And his goal is to create world peace, but in the same way, it's also via dictatorship, because he's kind of like putting you in a box and kind of removing you some of the rights that you would normally have. But at the same time, by removing those rights, he's actually able to have everybody conform and, you know, basically force this peace on everybody, if you will. But yeah. And then as for Ultron does have a chase for the Infinity Stones. So in the Infinity Countdown Prime, Ultron actually is after all the Infinity Stones. And I know, like, how can he get the Soul Stone? Because he doesn't really have anybody he would throw. Like, would he pitch his creator, which is, you know, like, would it be Tony, or would it be Banner, or how would he kill someone that he loves for the Soul Stone? Well, in the comics, he actually kills Adam Warlock, who in himself, you know, is part of the stone. Well, doesn't kill him, actually defeats him, grabs the stone from him. So the stone was already acquired, gets the stone from him, and then as he goes along and, you know, destroys the other Avengers and gets other stones as he goes, ultimately, you know, he goes and he gets all the Infinity Stones, if I recall well, or he's missing one. Yeah, no, he does get all of them. Anyways, we also see Rocket, who's in this state of, you know, he's hungover basically, which could be a callback or could be an homage to the character that voices him, who played actually in Hangover, so Bradley Cooper. All right, guys, to wrap things up, we're actually going to talk about the What If comic books. So I know I've been, you know, showing it up and telling you like where we're getting certain elements from. Was very important to, you know, we've seen Marvel Comics What If number 19, number 36. What's really cool is actually the number 39. So this comic might actually gain value. So if you do have it or are able to grab it, you may want to go ahead and snatch it before the value of that goes straight up. And yeah, it's basically what if the Watcher intervened. I think that's what it was. Well, that's how the title is. But anyways, basically he broke his vow and, you know, intervenes. So I'm going to put the comic book up here and you'll be able to see exactly what I was talking about. And that's what's going to happen. I mean, we do see Doctor Strange, well, the evil Doctor Strange, get powerful enough that he's able to see the Watcher or feel his presence, and then become powerful enough that he actually, you know, gets to talk to the Watcher, and then, you know, everything hits the fan and basically implodes on him. What's important about all that is that the Watcher may actually intervene and, you know, correct some of these timelines, or, like I said, pluck these heroes in order for them to fix, you know, an underlying problem, or maybe an absolute point in the beginning of all of this that goes on. So, that being said, if you've enjoyed this episode, and I mean, again, we're all about taking the comic book source material and bringing it to your face. But yeah, that is what we're all about. And if you enjoyed it, or, you know, find any kind of little tidbit of information, would definitely like that you hit that like button, because it definitely helps us, you know, it motivates us, but also it shows your support. And also, if you get a chance, be sure to hit that subscribe button, because we have so much coming up. We're super excited, by the way, that we have our Halloween episodes coming up. So for the month of October, we're gonna, you know, give you guys a little surprise, kind of get a little festive. We're not gonna drink any of that pumpkin spice latte that you guys can enjoy on your side of the screen. But on our side, we're just gonna get crazy and spooky, bring a lot of more spooky puns around. But yeah, all that being said, we also are gonna get a few more artists on our show. Maybe they're gonna be Halloween themed. I just can't wait to show you guys who they're gonna be. And lastly, we're also thinking about actually going into the unboxings. So these, all these collectibles all came from a box at some point or another. So we're actually gonna maybe not unbox all of these, but there are definitely stuff that you may want to invest in or may want to open or check out. This can be comic books for independent artists. This can be actual merch from here, there, and everywhere. And sometimes it's just a bunch of blind bags that you may want to check out before, purchasing. Or maybe, for example, that shield. Do I need extra shipping for it? Well, you don't know. But, checking it out, what comes with it. So, yeah, this is going to be a new segment that we're going to try out. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. But we definitely hope you stay for the Halloween experience. We just love the holiday as it is, and we can't wait to share it with you guys. So, you guys take it easy. Peace.